I'm Scott L. Miller. It is the 19th of April, 2022. It's Tuesday, and welcome to my vlog of daily life in Nicaragua. Today is a really fun one. I will point out I'm recording all these on the 20th. I am doing just one video after another because I've had no time to just sit down and do videos for days, so excuse that they're all packed into one recording session. Today was a really fun day. Martina came over early. She has a different schedule today, and we just were planning on going out this morning on some Leon adventures. I got stuck working a tiny bit, so we couldn't leave quite as early as we had hoped, but we did pretty well. Liesl decided she wanted to join us, and so we headed up to Rubindario, the main road, and just checked out a coffee shop there. I had no idea. It's okay. So I knew this coffee shop was there. I'd walked past the door, but I had no idea it was like a high-end fancy coffee shop. I thought it was just a little hole in the wall, because you often get those here. Dark doorway, you just go in, you can get coffee. Maybe there's some like cakes in the window, but it's not like we cake, which is nice. Right down our road, there's nothing. It's just a little glass display with a few things. I don't even know if you can get coffee in there. You can get a Coke. So we really had very little expectations of this place, and that's why we'd never been. But Martina's like, oh yeah, no, we got to go there. We'll go get breakfast and check it out. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Step inside. The place is great. It's got beautiful spots to take pictures. The Instagram spots that are popular now. Has an enclosed air-conditioned room for parties if you need it. It's got really nice like cafe seats and stuff. You feel like you're in a nice fancy city cafe right around the corner from our house. Seriously, we had no idea. I've been complaining that a place like this doesn't exist without going all the way to El Centro to go to Pani Paz. And there's pretty much only Pani Paz there. There's also Mañana Mañana, but it's not the same. Really, Pani Paz kind of rules the coffee shop thing here. This place was every bit as good. Completely fantastic. The coffee was amazing. I got like a big cappuccino. Liesl got an iced coffee. We got smoothies. We did breakfast. I got an awesome omelet with toast, and just the whole thing was great. Liesl got crepes, a red crepe. I have no idea what that was. It's like the food was really cool. The coffee was great. The venue was great. Very excited that we found that. I'm going to be bringing you along for coffee trips there a bit, I'm guessing, in the future. Once I have a little bit of free time, I'm really looking forward to being able to just go up and hang out there and have a free morning and just chill. So we did that, brought Liesl back home. I had to work a bit more because things were piling up, but got work done, headed back out, and then we went for a walk. We tried, Martina and I, just the two of us, we tried going to the Museum of Myths and Legends because it's nearby and looks really interesting. Turns out they're closed on Mondays, so that didn't work out. But so we kept exploring. So we're here in Leon, Nicaragua, in Calvarito, and I have Martina back. Hi, and we were walking through Hola. We were walking through Calvarito. We found a really interesting little pedestrian way and decided we had to turn down it and explore. So we are checking out a place that Martina, who is Leonesa, has never been.
That's embarrassing.
Is going to turn into a railroad track, a closed overpass. It's going to drop us off at an intersection, and then it's going to turn into Calvario.
Oh, really?
And I think it becomes 4th Street.
Okay.
That's my guess. Let's see.
Do you want to bet?
Yes, I do. I'm quite confident in this one. So we're going to see where this goes. We're taking bets. I think this is the 4th Street pedestrian way, but on the south side where it is closed. So we're in Calvarito. I think we're going to turn into Calvario. I think this is the street that connects them, but we don't know. So this is a really neat little area, and one of those things that's very unique to this part of the world. You don't find anything like this in the United States, and it is so cute. It's really, really cool. So we're going to explore. We're gonna see where we go. The path did turn out to be an old railroad track that used to run through the city and on to Managua. When we went exploring, we found that some of it was washed out, but there was still a walking path we were able to take to get across the ravine where the railroad used to go through. It's really interesting to see how the city has adapted to losing the railroad track, but still having the bed, community still using it as a way to connect from El Centro and Calvario down to the lower barrios farther to the south. It was neat to walk through, and for Martina, discovering a part of the city that she really didn't know, even though it's her home city. We had a lot of fun kind of just exploring and finding these neat little nooks and paths. And when you popped out, suddenly you're in a really important part of the city. It's very, very cool. And there's more paths that we didn't take that I'm really interested to know like where you can go with that, because this is like a bypass around the road system. All right, we braved the missing bridge. It was not very brave. There was a path. And I am pretty confident we are going to appear. Martina really disappears behind my head very easily. We're going to pop out exactly where I thought. This is the path that connects Calvarito to Calvario. They're separated by a river, and so it's neat that the two neighborhoods, basically it means Calvario is the town of the Calvary. The Calvary Chapel is what's there, and Calvarito is just the little Calvary. It's like its little suburb to the south. It's kind of attached to it. It doesn't have a lot of identity of its own, but it does have its own architecture and feel and style. This pedestrian way is traditionally what connected them, but it washed out or collapsed or something on the bridge, but there's still a path. So it's really interesting. We're coming out to one of my favorite parts of Calvario, so we're going to film that, the real pedestrian way that was there historically. So it has many more years of development and is quite a bit nicer than the one in Calvarito. Farther up, we come to another part of the trail that turns into a much better kept pedestrian way. Clearly, this still used to be the railroad, but they've done some amazing things with it.
So that's Calvario, and over there is the cathedral. So Scott was right.
I win this round.
Yeah.
My Leonese card is intact. The pedestrian way has really been turned into its own kind of neighborhood that just runs on kind of an elevated pathway above the neighborhoods around it. It kind of takes you over some major highways, and it really has its own access to different areas, and people don't know it's there. Even people who come to the area all the time, it's very well hidden. It's beautiful. There's little shops and these cool little places to live along there. It's really interesting, and I think is a great example of ways that the city can reinvent itself using the resources and spaces that it already has at hand. All right, we've come into not just the neighborhood of Calvario, but this is the Iglesia Calvario, after which the neighborhood is named. It has a beautiful park here, as most of the churches do, but this is one of, I'm not sure it's my favorite, but it is definitely one of my favorite churches architecturally in the city. It is the one just east of the Basilica and is an important part of the core downtown zone. Even though technically it has its own neighborhood, its neighborhood is one of the most simply extensions of El Centro and is the most visible from El Centro. So if you're at the Basilica or anywhere downtown, you're looking at the Calvario Church while you're down there. So this area really feels more like just an extension of downtown. So we're gonna go check out this church right now. Checking out the Calvario Church. It's beautiful. The grounds of the church itself, it's just a really awesome location. If you're in El Centro, it's worth taking a walk down there just to check out the church itself and its associated parks. It's a really, really nice part of the city, and a lot of people go out there just to sit and enjoy the parks because it really is a well-kept area and very accessible from downtown. In this shot, we're actually looking towards downtown. We're just a couple blocks away, so I mean, it's maybe a 5-minute walk at most. It's one of the larger parks around a church and certainly must be the best kept.
So this is the neighborhood my mom grew in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she grew up in here.
This might be my new filming location. It's a little bit far for me to run over because normally I film at La Barrio, which is close, but it's really loud. And this is this is one of my favorite parks. And this might be my favorite park in the city. I haven't come here that much, but it's so beautiful and quiet and like interesting. There's all these different, there's a kiosk over here. And then there's a couple kiosks over here. They're not open very often. They're certainly open. I've been here when they're open. And they do like hot dogs and drinks and stuff. But it's just such a peaceful, beautiful park, and it's such a cool part of the city, and it's so interesting to get here. You do have to take a bit of a real walk. It's not nothing, but it is a really cool part of the city. So I like it. I'm gonna come up here more often. What do you think? Calvario, definitely, and I've got friends who live up here and they swear Calvario is one of their favorite neighborhoods. So it's got a lot of restaurants, it's got a lot of character, beautiful architecture. It's definitely one of the more affluent parts of the city. So, and Martina's family grew up here, so you know, That's a vote of confidence right there. We really enjoyed exploring the city today, but unfortunately we had to cut it short really early because I got called into work and spent the rest of the day just in the office with meetings and client emergencies and editing and uploading and all my normal work stuff. So it was a short day, but we really had a lot of fun and hope you enjoyed this walk. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.